Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Hey everybody, it's Caro in the Nintendo Shack, and we got some surprise news. Actually, this was teased to us for quite a bit, and everything just kind of came to a head this evening. We're going to give our reactions really quick to the Pokemon press conference that just happened in Japan. We've gotten 3 new things. Number 1 being Pokemon Quest, which is a Switch/mobile hybrid game. It's currently available on the Switch right now, and I'm trying to download it from the eShop as we speak. Mobile will be coming later on in June. We also got news that the actual RPG that we were teased last year at 2017 E3 is not coming until 2019, which I fully expected that they needed to have at least a couple of good years for it. But the main event was the confirmation of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu coming to the Nintendo Switch. It is compatible with Pokemon Go, comes with a peripheral Pokeball Plus that Donnie says is currently just available in Japan for the time being, and I'm kind of a little distraught because we're all gonna want that. And that's where we stand. So I guess we're going to be giving our impressions and talking about the gameplay and what we've seen. Sure.
Have you guys watched the trailer yet?
Yep.
Q, have you watched the trailer?
Yep.
Yeah, Q's here. Q and Donnie here. We have
Q and Donnie are here.
Just not just Trainer Corner has reunited.
Yep. Guys, Pokemon Quest is on the Switch. I am downloading it right now for free.
You got the download already? I keep hitting the page and it's not going. Was it in your recent releases?
No, I had to look for it. I had to type in Pokemon Quest. Anyway, Q and I are hot off of recording for PSVG while this was all going on.
Oh yeah, this is PSVG OT.
Yeah.
OT?
No, we're not allowed to use that. Coach got really upset, so we're doing Shack After Dark or something.
Shack After Dark.
You know, you have basketball with, you have traditional basketball with a coach and everything. You have street style. You have street basketball. This is street OT,
Street OT?
We showed up. There's no one here. Just to get a pickup game going. This is what this is.
Word.
So,
Pokemon Quest. All right. This is, I know you wanted a question, but I'm looking at it, and this is what I believe Rumble is going to drop off, and we're going to get Pokemon Quest. This is like filling the Rumble shoes. And this is like Minecraft for Pokemon Gen 1, dude.
It's got the voxel design for sure. You get to part of 3, I believe is what I was able to grab.
I was tweeting faster than I was reading. So you get to give certain attributes to your party. I'm loading it right now, dude. So I might get some live reaction to what's going on here.
I can't believe you got it already. I've restarted and done everything. I can't get there. But this was the first thing that was shown in their presentation. Let's back up a bit.
And people were freaking out because they're like, what is this crap?
Let's back up a little bit. We had no idea that this was happening tonight, thus the emergency podcast. There were rumors all day leading back to Sunday that Pokemon something was coming this week. And then today we started to hear some stuff. Maybe it's tonight. What's going on? And Eurogamer really kind of spilled the beans when they said, we're in Japan? What? And everybody was like, oh, so this is how it's happening. Caroline, you got to turn that down.
Sorry, dude. Emily Rogers and who else confirmed or said that they were definitely going to be having something tonight at which would be 9 Eastern. 10 Japanese Standard Time, and then 11:30, which is still not 11:30 over there. It'll be 11:30 in about 25 minutes. Then we're getting stuff for everybody to do. Maybe pre-orders will go live or something. The placeholders on Amazon for the Let's Go are already up at $60 each. And
yeah.
Kevin was already talking to me about it. He said 5,000 yen for each of them, which equates to $49.99 in America. So I'm thinking those prices are going to come down for those. I want a double pack with a Pokeball Plus. Like, that's what I need. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
As I say, let's come back to that. I saw that they were. I retweeted something that they're both $60 here in the States, right?
That's what the placeholders say. But if it's gonna hold up, that it's 5,000 yen, they're gonna come down to $49.99.
The eShop page on the browser is live and it has a download link. So if you can't get it like I can't through the shop, you can get it there and it should trigger. So download will begin. There it is, guys.
Tumblecube Island. I am currently getting the
so
silly little thing.
Yeah, so they start the show. I think it's interesting that we're not really addressing the fact that this wasn't like a direct. Like, they didn't do, there's no press behind this. There's no big promotion. Like, it was, we're going to have this event in Japan and we're not going to stream it. We're only going to invite certain people. I'm under the impression that they were embargoed and probably until they got to the building. Because they all started to release at the same time. So they probably couldn't admit what they were doing until 8 or something like that. And then it's kind of fun because it kind of reminds me of how I used to chase news for video games back when I was like in high school, shortly out of high school, because we didn't have all the streaming sites and Twitch, and we couldn't watch Bethesda play with a bobblehead for 12 straight hours. Like we had to go through blogs and see things, on forums and message boards. And that's kind of how it felt today. So for that, I actually had a little fun today.
Well, do you think, and you know Nintendo better than I do, Donnie, to me, when you have this event where I haven't seen Nintendo's logo anywhere except on the trailers. I haven't seen Nintendo tweeting. It's all been Pokemon tweeting. The secrecy, the embargo. How much of this do you think was Pokemon saying we want to do this, and Nintendo saying, okay, fine, sure. Yeah. Like Nintendo didn't buy fully into doing this, but the compromise was. You have to embargo until you have to you keep it as closely as possible until last minute.
Like we kind of brought up on last week's Shack, I fully expect that this is kind of a Pokemon Company wants to have their little piece of the light, and then they will show more or probably even the same information at E3. We'll have an entire treehouse dedicated to Pokemon Quest and Pokemon Let's Go. Right? I fully expect we're to be watching these games for like 30 minutes, at least, in their live streams at E3. So this is kind of the Pokemon Company getting of their little piece of the stage, which I think is more than, hey, I've long said Pokemon's the best brand in the Nintendo wheelhouse. And that's from a die-hard Zelda fan and somebody who grew up with Mario, but nothing moves.
It just sells.
Yeah, look at my Twitter feed right now is just overloaded. It's just insane. People love Pokemon. It has far-reaching ability, so they deserve
Zelda is the guy with the sword, right? That's Zelda. I'm just kidding.
So they start the show. They start talking, and they kicked off the show. I did the tweet. They kicked off the show saying how many downloads Pokemon Go had, and I was like, oh no. This is not what folks want to hear right now. That was the first thing they said when they came on stage. Is they recapped Pokemon the RPG series, and then they talked about how many downloads Pokemon Go had. And then they jumped into Pokemon Quest, which Caroline's playing already, and I have downloaded and have officially here. It's a free-to-play game available for Switch now, mobile in June. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I think it was June 9th, I want to say, but I think they said late June. I don't remember. There's so much news coming at the moment. It's going to be hard to be correct on any of this stuff. It's a voxel-based, Minecraft-y look thing. I don't know how the battles go yet, Caroline, because I only watched the one trailer the one time. But yeah, I did get that rumble-ish feel. So I'd imagine there's like some sort of collect-a-thon character stuff in a little level-up system, and we'll see what the free-to-play stuff means. Like that was the news that I couldn't get was, what does free-to-play mean? Does free-to-play mean that I'm paying for Pokeballs? Does free-to-play mean that...
I think it's exactly like the Pokemon Go thing. You're paying for Pokeballs. You're paying for possibly space for your collection. Now, if you level up enough, you don't have to buy the space unless you're just catching anything and everything and you're not having one of each like I do. You get to choose. I'm going to confirm right now. You get to choose on Quest. Oh gosh, am I supposed to hurt this thing?
Good job.
Oh, okay.
Good job. This is good audio.
You're supposed to tap. So you get to choose 1 out of 5 starter Pokemon. I'm sure you can guess which 5 those are. You've got Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, and Eevee.
There's only one right choice. Charmander.
Which one do you think I picked?
Charmander. I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Donnie, when I hear
What'd you say, Donnie?
I said Eevee.
Yeah, he's right.
Donnie, when I hear console and I hear free to play on console, that to me says money, money, money.
It does.
Let it rain, baby.
Space.
And with that, does that mean this is the first?
Pokemons.
Does that mean this is the first like big micro game on Switch? Is there? I mean, you know the Switch better than I do. Is there other microtransaction heavy games? Because when I think of Nintendo, I don't think microtransaction heavy games, unless of course I'm talking about Pokemon Go, where I spend like easily like $50.
No, I see what you're saying. I can't say that I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know.
Ooh,
I don't.
Okay.
I think so. I think that's right. It's probably more right than not. I'm trying to think. There might be an indie game or two. So like I know like a lot of indie games have made the way over, but they've scrapped the microtransaction parts. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like that Gear Club game has a bunch of microtransactions that they got rid of by like letting you earn coins in the game. So it's kind of the same, but it's not because you're not parting with money, but it also costs $40. It's not free to start like this game is. So yeah, I'm trying to, I don't know when. So let's see here. Hang on a second. So I'm looking up the actual store page and it has DLC packs. So there's an expedition pack, a great expedition pack, and an ultra expedition pack.
This is for Quest.
And let's see here. It looks very Animal Crossing Pocket Campish. So the ultra expedition pack, which is the highest one, is $17.99. It gets you a cooking pot, which increases the number of dishes you can cook. An ultra ball model increases the number of PM tickets you can have. Increases the maximum battery charges by 1. A Gengar balloon, which doubles the drop rate. Snorlax Lounger, which doubles the experience received. The DLC also includes one-time bonuses of 100 PM tickets and a level 1 Snorlax with a special move. So yeah, that's microtransactions, buddy.
Oof.
And
I'm not one of those people to buy them. I'm just not.
But here's my question, and I don't mean to cut you off, Kara, but like, is there a component to this that is competitive?
I don't think so. I think this is like for Rumble. For me, when I played Rumble, it was just very much a collectathon. It's not. It's a one-person game that you're not playing against other people so much. You're just running around trying to get everything. Really quick battles, and I can confirm, like from just playing this, it's very much like the Rumble World system where you like run around and just start hitting the Pokemon, and you can make. I haven't gotten them to drop yet, but you take down their HP.
The description says the simple gameplay makes it easy to hop into expeditions and start exploring Tumblecube Island with the help of your Pokemon. Afterwards, head back to your base camp where you can use the loot you found during your adventure to befriend more Pokemon. Attract various Kanto region Pokemon to your base camp by cooking up dishes with ingredients. You can even decorate your base camp with fun items. So that leads me to think that, yeah, there's purchases that you can make, but if you want to grind it out, you probably can. Because it looks like you can go out on these expeditions and just find, dishes and cook stuff and gain experience and tickets, but buying the stuff will probably boost your speed up a bit. So, I never really played Rumble. I mean, I bought it for my son. He played Rumble. I can't say that I'm a fan of the Rumble series. It kind of seems like, this isn't the first time they tried to have, I guess, extra transactions involved with Rumble. When they put Rumble World on Wii U, they had those little figurines that you could purchase that had like level up boosts and whatnot. And those things are actually really rare. And they're hard to find these days because they were like pre-Amiibo. They were Amiibo, but they weren't Amiibo at the time. Like Amiibo wasn't a thing when they released them.
I'm going going through tutorial, and this tutorial says explicitly the goal of the game is to find precious loot that lies hidden on the island as you progress on your expeditions. So you go on your expeditions, and I'm pretty sure there's like a cooldown if you don't have. You can
There you
buy
go. Yep.
things, and there's a cooldown, and
Pocket camp.
Yep.
Pocket.
No,
moment
but I mean,
saw
Rumble World
tickets
was the
and
exact
stuff,
same way.
That's true. That's true. And what I did with Pokemon Go when I first started playing is I threw $20 at it just to see how far it would take me, and then I never put any money in again. I might do the same thing here. I may just throw $10 at the DLC pack and see what that does and mess around with it. But my son will play it forever, and he can keep playing it. What do you guys think about the Minecraft-y box stuff?
Right now I'm playing it. It doesn't bother me. It's kind of cute. You know, I like different styles of things, and
It's nice that it's out now, right? And it's
Yeah,
out
I mean,
now.
like,
You can go mess with it now.
I
I'm
don't
not
know if
gonna
I
lie.
would play this on Switch, though. I think I would probably get it. I
That's
don't know
what
if you can transfer your data to the mobile when you're ready for it, but
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like this is more something that I would play like when I'm waiting for the metro or the for something that
Yep.
I'm waiting on something. Like if I'm home, I'm gonna jump on my Switch or my Xbox One. You know, like I'm not gonna
Right.
play this on my phone. And even on the Switch, like I'm like, I don't know if I want to play this on the Switch. Like I feel like I could be playing other things that are more dynamic, you know, more more my style of what I'm trying to do. I just feel like this is something that I'll do whenever I'm limited or I'm cut off from other platforms. Now, that being said, like I'm not someone who takes a Switch with me. I know Donnie, for you, the Switch is a more portable device. My Switch stays home, 99.9% of the time. It's basically very much a console, a stay-at-home console, as much as my Xbox One is.
I prefer to play my Switch on my TV or my monitor, but when there's a game that I'm playing, I do take it with me. It's kind of like how good is the game I'm playing? Hyrule Warriors made me start carrying it again. But for a while there, I didn't carry it. There went a couple months though. I didn't keep it with me. I was playing golf on 3DS.
Speaking of which, how does Hyrule Warriors look on portable? Pretty?
Yeah. It's not as pretty as it is on TV, but yeah, it's good. Right. All right.
I'll be honest. Sorry, one last thing. If this had been the only announcement tonight, I wouldn't be here. I'd be like, I'm done.
After all the hullabaloo. Yeah. All right, but enough about this. We're talking 15 minutes. We talk about the Pokemon Quest game. So, guys, if you're interested, go play it. If you're not, don't worry about it. Like, that's another thing. If it's not for you, just don't play it. It's fine. Well, let's get into the actual news. And first, I want to start. Well, we'll just do the announcement. Pokemon Let's Go. Those rumors are true. We're getting RPG Pokemon games coming to the Switch this fall. Right?
November 16th. Who called it? November.
So, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. It's kind of I don't know if I'd call it a remake. I guess it probably counts as a remake, but it's like a reimagining, if you will, of Pokemon Yellow.
Correct.
A new vision for Pokemon Yellow. And it's going back to Kanto and has all of the original 151 Pokemon in there. And it does play with Pokemon Go on your mobile phones. But before we talk about our impressions of the game, we all said we watched the trailer. My immediate takeaway from the trailer was that trailer was everything that the Nintendo Switch was sold on. It instantly took me right back to that first ever Switch commercial. I was like, the team that did that commercial had to have done this commercial. They're almost identical. It immediately starts outside, right? Walk inside, he sits down, goes from portable play to console play, and you start seeing integration, and then a friend hops in, and then you see a family playing. It is the Switch concept built around Pokemon. And that, if anything else, was my biggest takeaway. I was like, that's a really neat way to sell something new.
Yep.
For me, it reminded me of the Pokken Tournament one where the kid is going home to see his older brother, and he's traveling the entire time he's playing it. But he takes out the Joy-Con and he lets the other people on the road play with him. But then he gets to his brother's house and he plugs it on the TV, and boom, it's like you're in another level. And yeah, for me, like the fact that they showed off the co-op component, for me that was awesome because that's what I'm all about.
Caroline?
Yeah, it did give me that vibe. I don't know, like, if it's going to be... I don't think... we really didn't see... We saw everything from first-person view. We didn't see, like, all these young adults playing. everything was pretty much first person view, right? Except for like, join your friend, and you can also just throw Pokeballs, and it was like this older lady or something. I do get the same vibe, but yeah, I don't know. I think.
What are you worried about? Like what's on the edge of your soul?
What do you mean?
No, because like you're saying, like you're talking about the vibe of it, and I'm like, well, I mean, does that mean
busy
that
playing?
No, I'm not. It's not that. It's just I think they tactfully did it where it's like, yes, we know that we've marketed the Switch to, younger adults, but this is a game for children more so, because Pokemon is, let's face it, it's for your 10 to 12-year-olds or whatever plays it, even younger.
those storylines are dark, man?
They're pretty dark. When you play a dang 11-year-old, 10, 11-year-old, is that what they are?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a very cartoony style. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, that's where I want to go next.
Yeah, but I think that they did a good job with the trailer. I watched it at least twice. I'm gonna watch it again with music this time because I was busy and didn't hear it. But yeah, it's an okay trailer. It's all right.
So let's talk about the style, because I got the screenshots before I saw the trailer, and then my first look at the screenshot was, man, it's quite a lean into the cartoony atmosphere, way more so than I ever would have thought they would have done. I thought they would have stayed kind of more in that comic booky anime style, and it leaned way into cartoons. It's like Saturday morning cartoon, Detective Pikachu style, less than like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon style. Which at first I was like, the screenshots that were being, and I say screenshots, the pictures that were being taken of the screen from the event and posted on Twitter, I was like, I don't know. And then I saw the trailer. Caroline sent the trailer, and I clicked on the trailer, and I saw it moving in motion and with all the bright colors, and I was like, no, this actually looks pretty good. It looks very clean. So in that regard, I think it's probably going to be okay. Lobo, what do you think about how the game looked?
See, to me, like at no point did I think, oh, this is very cartoony. I just thought this is what the Switch version of Red, Blue, Yellow looks like. Like this is what it was intended to look like. If you had this technology, 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. To me, like I seen games go. See, for me, I feel like if it had leaned more on the heavy, I don't know what you call it, the anime style. I don't know what you described it as, like the less cartoony version. I don't know what you described that as.
Yeah.
For me, that looks more like a JRPG, and to me, at that point, you start kind of losing me because Pokemon has always kind of been in between a JRPG and something that is very appealing to a lot of Americans that are not into our JRPGs.
You're right.
For me, like that cartoony animation works because to me it's like, okay, it's just maybe a step away from Sun and Moon. It didn't feel too childish for me. Now, that being said, we did not see any fully evolved Pokemon in the game. Now, obviously they're in there, but once you put a Charizard into a screen, it looks great.
Charizard.
We did?
Yeah, you're able to ride around and fly on the Charizard.
Oh, okay, but it wasn't like in a battle situation.
Right.
To me, once you put a Charizard in, it becomes like that's when you start appealing to like an older crowd because that is a character that appeals to adults, that appeals to teen. I mean, Charizard they've surveyed is the most liked Pokemon across like age ranges because it appeals to kids and to adults. So I don't know. I thought the animation was fine. I'm more worried about the gameplay, to be honest. I hope it doesn't lean too heavily on the light RPG side, because they're saving the heavier RPG elements towards the next piece of news that we haven't talked about.
So I want to go to gameplay next, but let's get Kyle in here because he's in our chat and he's given us some play-by-play from Eurogamer. And he says, Let's Go is an all-new game within the series like X and Y was, so it's not a remake of Red, Blue, or Yellow, despite being set in Kanto and inspired heavily by Yellow. So it's not a remake. And that's why I was kind of thinking like more of like a reimagining. I noticed that. He also says, this is probably more noteworthy, a special Pokemon was for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was mentioned during the conference, and Eurogamer can confirm this will be a brand new Pokemon. So there will be a new Pokemon in the game. Now,
oh boy, Mew 3.
So I Googled, or I mean, I Twitter searched Pokemon Yellow, and a bajillion amounts of people are running with that Pokemon Yellow theme. So that'll be interesting seeing that unfold. But the gameplay that you mentioned, I was kind of the same way. I had to watch that trailer on the second time before I corrected myself because of all the GIFs, the animated videos, and the screenshots that were shown. I never saw anybody actually battle. But it's in that trailer. They do actually have battles. It looks like... and it looks like your standard Pokemon battle, trainer challenges you, and, you have got little buttons. It's worth mentioning, they mentioned in that trailer the entire thing can be played with one Joy-Con, which is where that Pokeball Joy-Con comes into, comes into play. So part of me was like, I wonder, I mean, it might be too accessible, but I mean, also, as I always remind myself, Pokemon's geared towards children. I mean, that's what it's for. So, I mean, really, with any Pokemon game, you could probably play with one hand, especially if you could move. If you could move with directional pads and then do some sort of combination, you could play with everything. You only need like 3 buttons to play a Pokemon game. So you need a direction button, an A button, a B button.
I just got this notification. At this rate, you might run out of supplies. Go to the shop if you want more.
There it is. That's how they get you.
This is the fall of Nintendo right here.
The fall? Are you sure? They made $1 billion off Pokemon.
Well,
I mean, the fall
this
on
is the
the
rise,
fall.
You get 50 free PM tickets every 22 hours.
Oh, that's okay. So
How much does that give you? Like, how much is that?
You use PM tickets to like buy things in the shop. I haven't gotten to that part.
It's Pocket Camp.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean,
it really is. It's the same mechanic.
Pocket Camp. It's Pocket Camp, except if you don't like Animal Crossing, you can play with Pokemon. But it's like the same game.
Give this to your child, but don't let them have access to the credit card, or don't set up your credit card on your Switch.
There you go. You gotta have those parental controls.
I mean, I have no doubt they have data on how much people have sent on Pokemon Go, and they're like, "Hey, people will pay tons of money for Pokeballs."
They just announced. So. I want to say I think they said it's been downloaded like
800
million times.
Pokemon
Go has been downloaded 800 million times.
Wow.
How many people live on the Earth? It's the global population.
I think it's 8-9 billion now. B with a B.
Is that almost 10% of the world's population?
Hey, Kevin just logged on to Pokemon Quest. Kevin just logged on to Pokemon Quest.
Yeah.
He's just getting all of his salty opinions so he can come back and tell you how much he...
He's probably watching us right now, and he's...
Yeah. Pokeball Plus is confirmed to be $50 by itself at the least, says Warrior 64. I'm totally... I mean, it's a Joy-Con. It is a Joy-Con.
Well, it is, and it's a Pokemon Go Plus wrapped up inside of it.
So I fully expected to pay $40 or $50 for said device.
All
right, hang on. Let's stop with that.
I like holding it.
Back to the gameplay. All right, so we have battles. You get to run around. The only noticeable difference in the gameplay is the Pokemon Go stuff we talked about in Shack last week. The Pokemon are no longer hidden from view. You can see them and just run up to them. So you run into a cave, you see a Charizard, you want Charizard, you just run right to it and start attacking it. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah,
Wait, this is Pokemon Let's Go?
Yeah. Did you see it like on the screen when they were playing?
Yeah.
All of the
I saw
Pokemon
that part.
Were in the field of play. So I just run at them.
There's no point in Kanto where you can just walk up to a Charizard and be like, "What's up, bro?" It's like that's not like.
I meant like just explorable Pokemon.
Okay, I got you.
So you walk into a cave and a Cubone just sitting there, and
I'm sure.
You don't have
it's
to
going to
grind your way to find them. They're just in the field. You just look.
Yeah, it's just you're in the grass and there's a Rattata, there's a Pidgey type thing. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to go based off of your levels of your Pokemon and stuff. The higher level Pokemon are going to be. I don't think we'll see a Charizard or a Blastoise or anything in the wild.
Right. No. I'm sorry. Bad example on my part. I didn't mean to lead you guys down that path immediately. All right, so you pick your starter, you walk outside, you see a Pidgey and a Rattata, but you don't have to find them. They're just there. You just see them. Now, I've got 2 opinions on this. I've kind of like a pro and a con. All right,
okay.
So let me start with the con, because I like to be critical gamer. So the con is, I think this might make the game a little bit too boring. You're going to miss some of that exploration, even though that grind can be a little bit much. There is a part of me that enjoys the grind, and that's why I like Pokemon games, because it's an enjoyable grind. I don't enjoy all grind for video games, but with Pokemon, for whatever that reason is, I do.
I do too.
The pro is, there are times when I'm playing a Pokemon game where I don't want to be bothered by finding random Pokemon constantly. And, you had to buy those repels and all that.
Absolutely.
This kind of throws that out the window. You see them, you just don't go over there. You just run the other way. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what this really means. Like, for my, I'll have to play it. I'll have to play it and tell you what I think.
I'm not gonna consider. I'm not. People are saying that this is a actual Pokemon RPG game in the same vein as the original Red Blue.
I think they called it a
XY,
spin-off, right?
Sun Moon. That's exactly it. I'm not seeing it as an actual installment. Yeah, that was supposed to be coming at 10:30. It's 10:30.
We have a press returning. Sorry to interrupt. Returning to Kanto region, experience classic Pokemon Journey in a whole new way with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. These two titles were created by Game Freak. Blah, 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 blah. They're based on Pokemon Yellow, Special Pikachu Edition, which launched in Japan in 1998. Befriend your partner, Pikachu or Eevee will go wherever you are. They hang outside the Pokeball. They'll ride on your shoulder or on your head. You can also dress them up. You'll, blah, 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 blah. Catching made easy.
Catching made
These
easy.
games utilize the ability of the Nintendo Switch to add new, more accessible ways to experience Pokemon and play in the Pokemon universe. Even those who've never played the Pokemon series before will be able to dive right in. These games are easily approachable for newcomers to the series, but also have enough depth to capture veteran trainers on their toes. Practice catching Pokemon, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull out the
Where
stuff.
is this? I'm looking for it.
Nintendo.com, right?
I pulled it from Go Nintendo, but we should have an email in the box, too. Now you can use the Switch's Joy-Con to toss a Pokeball at your target with one hand, either by pressing a button or flicking your wrist. So there you go. Confirmed, Kyle. You can press a button to catch Pokemon. You don't have to play with motion controls. Although, we're going to get back to that when we start talking about the controller. I've got some... To really capture the Pokemon spirit of these titles, the new Pokeball Plus accessory allows you to interact with the games like never before. The Pokeball-shaped device can be used to play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in place of your Joy-Con. In addition to motion controls, the device lights up with a variety of colors, vibrates, and plays sounds. When you try to catch a Pokemon, you'll feel it moving inside the Pokeball. If your catch is successful, you'll even hear the cry of the Pokemon you just caught.
Oh my god!
As a controller, the Pokeball Plus will bring a new level of fun and immersion to these games. But the Pokeball Plus does more than just function as a controller. Take one of your favorite Pokemon from these games for a stroll in your Pokemon Plus, and you can bring it with you as you go about your daily life in the real world. You spend more time with your Pokemon even when you're not playing Pokemon Let's Go, and you'll be rewarded in various ways when you return them to your game. Plus, the Pokeball works as a Pokemon Go Plus. That's a lot of pluses for one little Pokeball. That is a lot of pluses for one. I've never been so excited to buy a peripheral piece of junk. Like, they've got me hook, line, and sinker with this pedometer Pokego Joy-Con thing. Because here's the thing. Somebody's going to try to play, like, Breath of the Wild with the Pokeball. Like, that's totally going to happen. God. That's totally going to happen. There's a deep connection between Pokemon Go and Pikachu. That's it. Blah, 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 blah. So, those are the details. That's good. That's timely. I'm glad that we got that.
Talking about the motion controls, though, Kevin did have a point. What if you don't want to play with motion controls? What if you just want to, do the...
Yeah, I said you could press a button. So, I mean, if you can press a button on that, you press a button on Joy-Con. So you don't have to throw it. You could press a button or throw it.
Right.
So going back to the idea of catching Pokemon, like just walking up to them.
Yep.
For me, it's going to come down to balance because at the end of the day, Pokemon maps are not that big, to be honest. You spend a lot of time grinding in one area, but they're actually not that big compared to other games. So if I'm going from one city to the next and I'm just cruising because, I caught Geodude, great, I'm good to go, boom. And there's not a good balance of like Pokemon to trainers that challenge me along the way. I'm just going to burn through map space, right? And I feel like I forget there was a game recently that I had experience, and I'm trying to forget. I forgot which game that is, but there was a game. You know what? It may have been Sun and Moon. I feel like Sun and Moon. Like I feel like things were really close together. I feel like it took me no time to get from one city to the next, and I'd be like, like that would have taken me like a day of grinding in like the old games. But now it took me like half an hour to get to the next location, and I feel like that makes the game go by really quickly. And if you eliminate a lot of that grind, then I feel like at some point I'm like, well, what's there left to do? And so for me, it's going to come down to balance. And if the game keeps up the challenge as I move through it. We have yet to see what that actually looks like in game. So
I'm going to just one quick thing. Pokemon.com, which is English, North America, has tweeted out about, or has mentioned that it is available on the day of the launch. Pokeball Plus is coming to America, so it's not just Japan.
There we go. And I think we all expected that.
Right.
Q, I like where you're going with that, and there's a part of me that wants to say that could the game feel less special if you're walking around the map and your map is just littered with Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Like, think about walking through the woods, Viridian Woods, and like instead of just having to guess and go through all the bushes and find it, if they're just all out in the open, like what is that? Is that something that we really want? I don't know. Again, I don't know.
I like the rarity. It makes me have a sense of accomplishment more when I go and find these things.
But can you just like spam it? So like if you enter a screen that you don't like the selection that's there, do you just like hop back out and come back in and just like keep shuffling them until you see the Pokemon you want?
I don't know. It's kind of like just running around the grass and hoping that the one that you want pops out, like shiny hunting.
I mean, rate of appearance is another thing that we don't know about. Like we're all used to a rate of appearance in the mobile games, and you don't know like what if you catch that Cubone and that's the only Cubone you see for a couple of days that you're playing the game.
I think that's key.
Like
that's key is the rate of the rarity. Like how. Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be key. Kyle has been over there on the Eurogamer, and he's got some information to add to this, too. Nintendo did not confirm whether Pokemon Let's Go would use the online service. They did confirm that you'll be able to trade and battle, but you'll have to have multiple Switches, obviously. But you can't have multiple accounts on the same console. That was a point I did want to bring up later. Pokemon Quest, you'll not be able to share your data across platforms. He's got the Pokeball...
Crap! You can't share data between Switch and mobile.
You gotta spend twice the money, Caro. You gotta spend.
No. So they did in the trailer and in the presentation. They did showcase that you can trade a Pokemon from Pokemon Go to your Switch and back.
I understand that, but I want my save data to be switchable between. I want my save data to be accessible on my Switch, and then have a cloud save, and be able to get it on my mobile device.
I don't know about that. I think it's going to be more manual than that. Like with Pokemon Go, you're going to have to like click the sync buttons between the two. I think it's going to be more a manual thing. I fully expect the cloud saves from the Nintendo Switch Online to work with Pokemon Let's Go. I think they're taking that same approach like with Smash. Like they keep saying, is Smash going to be on the online account service? And they're like, stay tuned. It's because Smash hasn't been like fully announced. Every game that has online service will be under the online service banner. So I'm just taking that as marketing speak, to be honest. But the thing that I did want to mention was, in the past with 3DS, you had to have multiple carts. Like if your kids had systems, right? You couldn't share. And I would imagine that that's out the window now. And I wonder like what that does to their bottom line. Because I mean, this was one of the first things I thought of. The reason why we're all in, my son's got his own profile on my Switch. I'm going to buy one copy of the game. We're both going to play it. We'll just take turns playing the game. Now we won't be able to battle each other like we have in the past. And that's fine. I can live without that. I can battle Q. And I can use Q to farm the Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur that my son needs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I got a husband.
I am a farmer. I am a lead farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Best Buy's got both of them up for people that are still able to take advantage of Gamers Club Unlocked while it's still around.
I'm going to go grab them.
Go right on ahead. $47.99 per.
Do they Pokeball?
No Pokeball yet. I am hoping and praying that we get a dual release, like how they do with the Steelbook with
both.
Double release. I am.
All right, so here's a question that I'll pose to the panel: Eevee or Pikachu?
Eevee.
Pikachu all the way.
I love that you both split because now I don't know who to side with.
Pikachu, man. It's Pokemon, man. It's Pikachu, dude.
Yeah.
Look at your hat, son. Look at your hat. If you're on the audio.
Sorry.
Okay, more Eevee for me. All the evolutions for me.
Now here's did they mention if there's gonna be like, is it gonna be like the red blue where you get like a few different ones on each one?
I'm sorry, I was reading Kyle's.
Like, am I not gonna get Seeking on Pikachu version, but I'm gonna get Staryu?
They haven't mentioned that stuff yet. I'm imagining them to be like they'll have one, right? They always do. They'll have 2 or 3 Pokemon that you've got to have the other version to get, but like the majority of them will be there. They may do like Mew and Mewtwo. That would be smart because people will totally buy the other one for those, and that's sad. That's where we are with Pokemon and games these days. If they said that, there's totally people to be like, "Well, I got to buy them both now." That wouldn't shock me in the least bit. Is that it? I want to. Oh no! It's not. Let's get back to this controller, Pokeball Plus. So, I shared the GIFs in the forums, and right on cue, we got a little salty. I won't say the name. Let's just say we got a little salty, which I gotta admit I was a little shocked by because I actually really like this controller. If you haven't already, if you couldn't tell, and it actually is not necessarily my response. When I played the trailer right before you guys messaged me, Caroline's goes, "We're ready to go," and I'm like, "All right, I'm on my way, but I gotta show Jack this trailer first." So I'm getting him to bed. So I pull the trailer up on YouTube, throw it on the TV. My wife and Jack sits there, and when the kid takes that Pokeball and it turns and moves like that, and it goes on the screen, Jack had one of those, man. Dude. I was like, yes, I would have killed for that pretend game when I was 8 years old. I can't tell you the amount of Pokemon games I played, like throwing rocks at like trees and stuff. Like the idea that you have this, like that's such a great illusion. And then it got my wife because he puts the ball on the table and it does a little and she's like, "Oh my god, it talks!"
See, I haven't listened to it with audio, so the fact that it makes sounds is what I'm really interested in.
And it clicks. You get the click.
That's why it's $50, dude. I mean, you've got all 152 sounds, assuming we're getting a Mew 3 or some sort of crazy Pokemon. You got 150 something sounds in there. The click sound. I don't know. It's a nifty piece of hardware.
It's dumb. It's a dumb peripheral. But when it comes to peripherals, like that's the type of stuff that I would be into. You know, like
I mean, honestly, I think it's less dumb than buying a custom skin controller. Like I mean, it has more utility to it. There's more to it. I mean, a controller that has like, I don't know, like a fancy Halo skin or whatever on it, or Mario skin. At least a Pokeball has like a functionality to it that's unique to it. I mean, I think it's a better buy than most customized controllers out there.
Have they confirmed that it's got the HD rumble inside the ball?
I didn't see that. I know it rumbles, but I didn't see if it was HD rumble. I would imagine so. It's got to be. I think it's they're just them
for
finding
$50, instead of just,
you know, to my point earlier with folks not buying multiple versions of the game, maybe this is a way of making up that margin.
Sure,
they're going to come out with a peripheral that you have to buy, and they may come out with a new one. They may come out with a new one every time. I mean, Pokemon.
Can you imagine if they come out with like different skins? So like, here's your regular Pokeball, here's your Premier Ball, here's your Master Ball. Crap, what have I done?
Oh man,
Q would pop for a collected series of Pokeballs. I think you would.
I've got one, Q. I have to show you, dude.
Yeah, but they're not controllers. If they're controllers, Q would pop for Master Ball. I'll say this now. I know Q. Q might pop for Master Ball. He'd trade his Pokeball in for Master Ball and take a bunch of selfies.
Oh my gosh.
He would just do it as an ornament.
It's coming, dude. It's coming.
There you go.
There's his premiere.
Man, that's good.
Where do you get those little plush?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was looking at these plush things on Amazon the other day, and I found a set, and I was this close to pulling the trigger.
Here I am talking about playing imagination games when I'm 7. Q's still doing it. He's at his house right now. He's
dude,
throwing the ball at his wife.
I stare out my balcony, and I imagine Mobile Suit Gundam mecha battles out there, man.
Nice.
I am living the dream.
Like Suda51, you're definitely an otaku.
Man, that Pokeball really kind of set it off a bit. And maybe that's the new way to play that like makes us forget about all of the things that we think about the old way.
It's a gimmick, guys. It's just a gimmick.
Good one, though, but it's a good one.
And it's keeping us busy for another year while they polish a brand new story that hopefully will be just as good as Sun and Moon.
Yeah, new gen confirmed.
What does this mean for the Donnie and Kara? What are your thoughts on what does this mean for the 3DS? Like, what does this mean for that series?
Well, as we've already explained earlier today, who was messaging me on Twitter saying that the 3DS is dead? I think it was Eric. Anyway, I just put down $25 for a nice new highly enshielded 2DS XL. So I don't think it's dead. I think it's becoming more of like a commodity, like a novelty item type thing for just like, hey, we're making all of these great, cool 2DS, 3DS XLs that people will still buy. I'm going to buy it. I already put down the money for it. But in terms of games that are coming out, we've already known for the past year that they're moving from Pokemon from the 3DS to the Switch. They announced that yesterday at 2017's E3.
Last E3.
Yeah, we've known for a while that their intentions are to move onto the Switch, since the Switch is the hybrid portable / TV thing. And I've been fine with that since I heard that, because I was kind of just enamored with a Switch game for the first time, like looking like this. I didn't get my say in, by the way, on the style, how much I actually enjoy this style. It's cartoony, but I think it, like Q said, it harkens back to what it would have looked like had it not been in pixel form back in 96, 97, 98. I really like it, and it's clean. I was worried that we were going to get those, the pixelated 3D models that we have on the 3DS, that it was like a rushed project that was originally meant for the 3DS, but they've started from the ground up on this thing. I think it's probably going to be the same engine, and they're just kind of the engine that they're using for the upcoming ones in 2019. And I think it looks great. I'm a sucker for style experimentation, and I think it's just really pretty. I think that the style will work, especially if you're trying to remind people that it was their first. Some people, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow was their first Pokemon game, and
so I had a point to that I wanted to make, but I want to insert a few more things because we have more news. First, coming from Kyle in the chat. Yes, it has been confirmed that HD Rumble, per Game Freak director Masuda. Taking a step further, there are product details that are up. Battery life, 3 hours. It weighs 65 grams. It's $50, according to Wario. He says that's done, $50. And, it launches with the game. But I have yet to see a pre-order page for it. Now, there was interesting... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, even if we don't get a full 2-pack game and the ball, do you think we'll be seeing packs of the game and the ball peripheral together? Probably. One game and the ball.
I would imagine so. They'll probably do like a, that would be, I don't know. It'd be 100.
Like a bundle.
They'd have to probably do 100, because I don't think, they could do
$99.99.
See, I think you're not going to see that. You're going to see Nintendo Switches that are built just around the Pokemon Let's Go.
That's a good idea, too.
That is a good idea.
Especially coming in November, it's going to be like the hot Christmas thing.
You're going to have Nintendo Switch comes with one of the games, and it comes with maybe it comes with a Pokeball. It's going to be like $500, but...
It'll still be $299.99, but it will come with your game and a Pokeball. I think it'll be $299.99.
So the last thing I wanted to make on Let's Go before we talk about New Gen and then wrap us out of here, because this is supposed to be emergency, like quick hitter newscast. We're almost about to go an hour. I immediately thought to myself when I was watching the trailer, or actually more like when I was thinking about it after watching the trailer, this is probably what it takes to get me to play Pokemon Go again. Like, I instantly am like, I'm going to start playing tomorrow, because I know that it's all going to go towards this game that I'm going to buy. It's interesting, there was a new follower that I followed from MomoCon that I met at MomoCon who cosplayed as a Pokemon, and she said the opposite. She said the only Pokemon game I've ever played is Pokemon Go, but this trailer has me wanting a Switch, and I retweeted it. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, Eureka, that's exactly what Nintendo wants to see right now. They want to see people like me going, I'm going to download Pokemon Go, and they want to see people like her going, I want to buy Pokemon Let's Go on Switch. Right?
That's amazing that she cosplayed a Pokemon, and she's only ever played Pokemon Go?
It's the only game she ever played.
See, that's funny you said that. I was talking to my wife, and I was like, I told her like a couple of days ago when the first, big, there's, they're going to announce soon the Pokemon RPG for the Switch. I was like, oh man, like, would you be up? Would you want to play that? And she doesn't play. She used to play Pokemon Go, but she has never played a single Pokemon game in her life outside of Pokemon Go. And she thought about it, and she was like, you know what? I would play that. So the Switch, the Switch is doing what the 3DS and the Game Boy couldn't do for some people. It's making it a more worthwhile experience outside of the like you're not gonna get another 30-year-old to buy a 3DS, but she'll jump on the Switch.
Mm-hmm. This just in, more news keeps hitting. Brian sent me this from Pokemon Go screen cap. When you log in now, it says, say Alola to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee with the Alolan Executor, which we were already told about, but it says they're coming to Nintendo Switch in 2018 in November. Once released, Pokemon originally discovered in the Kanto region that you have caught in Pokemon Go can be brought into these 2 Nintendo Switch games.
Yep.
In celebration of this announcement, Alolan Executor will now appear all over the world in Pokemon Go. This is the first Alolan form of a Pokemon originally discovered in Kanto to arrive in Pokemon Go. Keep an eye out for its tall and stately presence. Enjoy, trainers, and stay tuned for more news.
There you go.
Well, dang it. Hook, line, and sinker. They've got me.
You got that little accessory thing you bought, so you're
I
set.
did. You know what? We are going to Disney World on Thursday, and I tell you what, I'm gonna have a blast with it.
I'm gonna have to put Pokemon Go back on my phone like after this.
It's okay, dude. Brian has
the
not
research-
stopped playing it, and
The
Brian's
research
gonna help
quests
me.
are awesome. The research quests are a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It
the
gives you a
research
sense
quests have, they really help you get stuff that you otherwise would not find. So I mean, like you do these quests, and it's like, oh hey, by the way, here's a chance to get a Zapdos.
I do
Very.
Oh no, Kyle! Don't say that.
What happened?
No online features planned for Let's Go, so only local multiplayer.
Also...
Well, that didn't bother me.
Kicking
I think
the
that's
knockers.
probably think about that in reality. That's probably because of the Pokemon Go tie-in. Like, why would you need online features when you have a bajillion Pokemon on your phone you can transfer into the game? Right?
Not even local area. Like, can I walk up to your Switch?
There's an Alolan Pokemon,
And battle
Alolan
it,
Executor somewhere near me. Holy crap!
Are they gonna sell us a link cable? Maybe.
That'd be
I
great.
seriously doubt, dude.
You're earning your Shaq status with that one. That'd be great. That'd
know,
be
right?
awesome. I'd like that just as like a novelty.
What a
I've
day
owned
and age we
multiple
live in that
link
we
cables.
joke about link cables.
Link cables.
You have premier elementary school status if you had a link cable in your lunchbox and people could use it to trade Pokemon.
I don't know if y'all
That
can
is true.
see. There's an Alolan Executor near stop near me. I don't even have a regular Executor.
Wild Pokemon battles do not exist. See,
Oh, they don't exist.
I don't know. I'm edgy. I don't know. I feel like the more I find
Did
out,
you battle a lot of other trainers?
yeah, and not only that, but there's no wild Pokemon battles, and for me, that's part of the grind. That's part of the becoming the best that ever was.
I think that there are wild Pokemon battles.
I
You
saw
just
that.
know what you see. You
I mean,
see,
yeah.
and you can just like run up to him. It's not like a surprise.
See, I think I think the catching function is gonna be just like Go.
Oh, so you
And
just
you
catch the
battle.
wild ones and then
Don't
battle
battle,
the trainers.
You don't have to do that trade off where you
Ooh.
wanna weaken it, but you don't want to kill it because you don't want it to go away. You don't want it to run away.
Question. Or,
See, I hated hurting them anyway.
question, rebuttal here.
Okay.
That might make that whole exploration thing better.
Probably.
It makes it less appealing to me. Because to me, what you're getting is my full respect to people that are gonna love this game. You're getting a for those familiar with Destiny, you're getting a Destiny 2 instead of a Destiny 1. You're getting a really, really light RPG, even lighter than your classic Pokemon games. And it's like, it just kind of makes it really like, it kind of dumbs it down a lot to me.
I think that's fair. That's fair. I would imagine with such a change like that the trainer battles are going to be worth it. There's probably going to be a grind to catch the Pokemon to beat the trainers.
I can see your concerns and like I see where you're coming from, but I think that this game, as we've already talked about, is a sort of hybrid Pokemon for a console handheld and and the other part of the hybrid being Pokemon Go, to try and get people that are playing solely hybrid or solely handheld console Pokemon into Go and vice versa. So I think that's like they even said on there that it's hybrid.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm not saying that it's an actual Pokemon RPG game.
That's fine, and
where
I
I'm going
can buy that. I can buy that argument. At the end of the day, I am a Pokemon fan and I'm a Pokemon customer. So when I see a product that like does not appeal to me, that is a bummer, because to me that is development time, development resources that are being put towards a game that at the end of the day is not the game that I wish it was. So even if I can completely appreciate the argument of like, hey, this is not quite that, I'm like, I get it, but as a consumer, these are all resources that are not going to what I actually want. And that is, from any cost benefit scenario, that is a little bit of a bummer to me. If it's not like, for me, it's like the team that is developing Let's Go, would the full RPG be out today, or, in 3 months, if that whole team had been working on that instead of splitting efforts between 3 different Pokemon games,
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I think about, and I'm always like, well, I get it. It's maybe the product is not meant for me, but I do want my product to come out. Why? It's like, I mean, I know it's Nintendo Shock, but Halo just announced that like arcade Halo game. For me, it was like, okay, like, great. This appeals to nobody. It's like,
Yeah.
But
Chalfie,
yeah. So
Chalfie
anyway,
in the chat says, this is going to divide Pokemon fans, new school versus
Sure.
old school. We'll
That's
see.
fair.
We'll see.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that first time I watched that trailer while I was tweeting everything, not really like paying attention, my first reaction was it seemed watered down. Like, not watered down. I thought it seemed easy. I was like, this kind of looks easy. And we'll see. Like, I don't know. I imagine, just knowing the formula, that they will have, it'll be easy, maybe even to complete, but then there will be a harder, grindier portion.
Yeah, that would be nice.
The ability to transfer from Let's Go opens up about halfway through the game. After that, you'll be able to do it freely. There are also mini games you can do in transferring lots of Pokemon over, so to save those load times. Kyle, man, killing it with our producer, man. He's the producer over here in the other chair. Kyle should have pulled up a chair here. For somebody who doesn't do Pokemon and barely does Switch, man, he is all over the news for this announcement. Kyle, are you going to get Pokemon? Like, I can only imagine that you following this much news means you're either incredibly bored or you're actually interested in the game.
Does Kyle have a Switch?
He does. You wouldn't know it, but he does.
That's what I was asking. It's kind of a borderline joke, but
Kyle
I really
has
didn't
the
know.
Bored with Video Games best quote, where he said he played Breath of the Wild for 5 hours.
That's right. I forgot. This is the guy. All right.
That's the guy.
Bless his
Coach
heart.
Mo played it better.
I know. Coach Mo got back into it after I told him that there's a story.
Anyway, that's it here another day. So, I mean, that's everything. And then we know Gen 7 Pokemon 2019. So we have Pokemon today, Pokemon this fall, Pokemon next fall, and I can only assume there'll be a Pokemon Let's Go to sequel the fall after.
Probably, dude.
Probably. With a new
Depending on
Pokeball.
how well this goes.
I mean,
But it already
3DS,
seems like
we got
it's
to the
already
point
sold.
there where Pokemon was annualized. We got Pokemon almost every year there for like, what, 3 or 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
So, that'd be
well, I
crazy.
mean, if you can call those ultra versions annualized.
Brian is going to play the hell out of this game. I'm just going to throw that out too.
I mean, taking my previous argument about dividing resources for game development. If you can create 3 or 4 like continuous series of games that people are gonna buy into, whether it's Pokemon Let's Go, then you have the hardcore RPG that is more like the original games. You have quests, you have Pokemon Go, and you have someone like me investing into all 4 of those. Man, my hat's off to Game Freak and Nintendo. Like, my hat's off to them for finding a way to make me go from playing 1 Pokemon game to playing 4 Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, so we're all excited. We're going to download the Pokemon Quest. We have already downloaded Pokemon Quest. And we're going to buy Pokemon Let's Go, it sounds like. And we're probably going to buy the RPG. Good job, Nintendo. You've sold at least
You got your
9
hardcore
games.
fans here, though. I'm so glad I got to Shack this week. I mean, I wasn't planning on being on the show on Thursday because I'm going to be gone. And, this happened and it's good.
Ooh, Kyle throws in. The controls for catching Pokemon in handheld mode will have you moving the console around, pressing the button to throw. No touchscreen, and the gyro part is required. So it looks like maybe there'll be like an aim, right? There'll be like an aim. like a Wii U aim, and then a.
I just feel like I'm gonna be doing.
Kyle,
the
that's not that bad, man. Chill out.
No, it's not.
With
Now Kevin's probably not gonna be happy about
Vita
that.
had like back touch, and he's over here whining about gyro. Like, come on. I love Vita. Vita's amazing. Yeah, those back touch buttons were incredibly great. Those set the world on fire. I love gyro aiming. That's like the Splatoon thing, the Wind Waker thing. Like aiming with the gyroscope that's legit. That's good stuff.
Except not for Star Fox. Let's not talk about that.
Well, Star Fox Zero, no, but Star Fox 3D is awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was
Gyro
fine.
is
That was
awesome.
fine.
Star Fox
I'm talking
3D.
about Star Fox Zero.
That's just the difference between a good game and a bad game. It had nothing to do with the gyro.
Yeah.
Gyro in a good game, good. Gyro in a bad game, still bad.
Do you do inverse controls, or am I the only one that does inverse?
No, I don't inverse. I'm the one person.
I have
I
to.
can't
It's
inverse.
just so weird. I have to have inverse.
It's not weird. It's weird when up doesn't go up. That's weird. Like up should always go up and down should always go down. When you flip it, that's weird.
See, it just I don't know what it is that I played growing up, like RPGs on MMOs or something. I don't know, but
Limited
for
mobility,
me,
Kyle? Really?
what
You
if
can
you
play it with a Pokeball in one hand.
See,
You can take the Pokeball everywhere.
That's
See,
ridiculous.
this is foreshadowing to when Microsoft buys Nintendo and Nintendo uses the Xbox One peripheral controller that is made.
Plugs in like 18 joysticks and all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, I mean,
not gonna
you
happen.
can play it with one Joy-Con or a Pokeball. I think that's about as open to the masses as you can possibly get. You don't have to use motion controls. You can
And it's
dock it and use
freaking
the
cool.
Pokeball. So, anyway, we've rambled for an hour about
8-year-old me would just have
yeah,
died.
Yeah, I really do think that's probably my biggest takeaway. If 8-year-old Donnie had this, I would have just lost it.
Yeah.
I would have loved this thing so much. I would have carried that thing with me forever.
To school.
8-year-old Q
show
would have
your
been
friends,
like,
be
I ain't got
"Hey,
money
listen
for
to my
this."
I
kid."
ain't got money for this. I would have traded in consoles for this. I would have traded in a console just for the Pokeball.
Yeah, my parents would have been like $50 for this.
I do like the Pokeball better. Like, you put your Pokemon in it, you take it with you. It either levels them up or something. I like that better than the like brush your Pokemon like mini games that they had. Like I didn't do any of that. I don't want to mess with any of that. Like just give me the Pokeball. I'll carry the Pokeball because it's cool. I'd totally be the guy at like the conference table at a business office who like empties his pockets out and is like, "Here's my badge, here's my keys, and here's my Pokeball." And you're like, "What in the world? What is this?" Like, don't you worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm be the,
Don't you worry
I'm be
about
the best,
it.
the very best. Like no one ever was. Anything else, guys?
No, dude.
Nope.
I think we've covered the bases.
I gotta go catch them all. I'm gonna go download Quest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play Quest. I was thinking I might stream it.
My wife took the Switch,
I might stream
so
it
that's why I'm not downloading it because she took it. I was like, "Where is it?" It's like, she took it.
She's
There we
playing
go.
it.
I turned mine off while we were doing it because it does have like a timer that you regain the power for your battery every like 10 minutes. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Gotta catch them all.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Pokemon Corner over. We'll let you know all about this in Nintendo Shacks to come. Caroline, enjoy your vacation. At least you got your Pokemon news in.
thanks, dude.
Yeah, good stuff. Q, as always, thanks for checking in on the Shack. And we will catch you guys, pun intended, another time. Good night, Kooplings.
This has been a production of the Place of Video Games Podcast Network.